What if the only thing standing between you and creating powerful abstract art is the need to control it? In this video, we're breaking that barrier and stepping into pure creative flow, where there are no mistakes, no rules, just instinct, movement, and expression. So if you've ever stared at a blank canvas not knowing where to start, this is where everything changes. In a quiet studio where light slips gently across unfinished canvases and the hum of the outside world fades into a distant whisper, there exists a space where creation is not forced but allowed, not planned but discovered. And this is where our journey into modern abstract art begins, not as a rigid technique to be mastered, but as a living, breathing dialogue between the artist and the unknown, a place where the creative flow becomes less of an idea and more of a state of being. Because abstract art is not about replicating reality, but about responding to it, translating emotion, memory, and intuition into something visual, something raw and immediate, something that bypasses logic and speaks directly to the senses. And as you stand before a blank canvas, you might feel that familiar hesitation, that quiet question of where to begin. But the truth is there is no correct starting point, only the willingness to begin at all. To make that first mark, whether it's bold or tentative, chaotic or controlled, because the first stroke is not a declaration of what the piece will become, but an invitation for it to unfold. And this is where many artists struggle, caught between expectation and instinct, trying to control every outcome instead of allowing the work to evolve naturally. Yet the essence of modern abstract art lies in surrendering that control, in trusting that each movement of the hand carries meaning even if it cannot yet be explained. And so you dip your brush into color, perhaps choosing instinctively, perhaps without thinking at all, and you apply it to the surface, watching as pigment spreads, blends, resists, reacts, forming textures and shapes that feel both accidental and intentional. And in that moment, you are not just painting, you are responding, reacting to what appears, adjusting your rhythm, your pressure, your speed, entering a conversation that is fluid and unpredictable. And this is the creative flow, a state where time dissolves, where self-doubt quiets, where the mind steps aside just enough for something deeper to take over. And as layers begin to build, you might notice patterns emerging, not because you planned them, but because your subconscious is guiding your choices, repeating gestures, exploring contrasts, balancing tension and harmony. And suddenly, what once seemed random begins to feel cohesive, as though the painting itself knows where it is going even if you do not. And this can be both exhilarating and unsettling, because it challenges the need for certainty. It asks you to trust without fully understanding, to continue without a clear destination. And yet this is precisely what gives abstract art its power, its ability to capture something authentic and unfiltered, something that cannot be replicated through careful planning alone. And so you continue, adding, subtracting, scraping away layers, introducing new colors, letting some areas remain quiet while others demand attention, creating a visual rhythm that mirrors the internal rhythm of your thoughts and emotions. And there may be moments of frustration, moments where the piece feels unresolved or even chaotic. But these moments are not failures. They are transitions, necessary phases in the evolution of the work, and learning to sit with that discomfort, to resist the urge to fix everything too quickly, is part of developing your artistic voice, because sometimes what feels wrong is simply incomplete, and given time it will find its place within the whole. And as you step back, physically and mentally, you begin to see the painting not as a series of individual marks, but as a unified expression, a visual language that communicates without words. And this is where the viewer enters the experience, bringing their own interpretations, their own emotions, their own stories. Because abstract art does not dictate meaning, it invites it. It opens a space for connection that is deeply personal and ever-changing. And this is why no two people will see the same painting in exactly the same way, because each person engages with it through the lens of their own life. And as the artist, your role is not to control that interpretation, but to offer something honest, something that resonates on a level beyond explanation. And so the process continues, not just within a single piece, but across across your entire journey as an artist, each painting informing the next, each experiment expanding your understanding of what is possible. And over time, you begin to recognize your own patterns, your own preferences, the colors you return to, the gestures that feel most natural, the compositions that excite you. And this is how your style emerges, not through imitation or rigid rules, but through consistent exploration and reflection. And it is important to remember that this evolution never truly ends, because creativity is not a destination but a continuous flow, a dynamic process that shifts and adapts as you grow, as your experiences change, as your perspective deepens. And there will always be new challenges, new questions, new directions to explore. And rather than fearing that uncertainty, you learn to embrace it, to see it as your only source of inspiration. Because without the unknown, there will be nothing to discover, nothing to create. And so as you stand once again before your creations, you no longer see it as empty, but as full of potential, a space where anything can happen. You are free to experiment, to fail, to succeed, to express, and most importantly, to flow, to let go of the need for perfection and instead focus on presence, on the act of creating itself. Because in the end, modern abstract art is not about producing a perfect image, but about engaging in the process that is alive, that is moving, that reflects your feeling that moment. And when you allow yourself to enter that state fully, without hesitation or judgment, you begin to understand that the true masterpiece is not just the finished painting, but the experience of creating, the journey of moving through uncertainty into clarity, of transforming thought and feeling into form. And this is the essence of the creative flow, a state where art is not separate from you, but an extension of your being, a continuous exchange between inner and outer worlds. And as you share this process with others through your work, through your videos, through your voice, you are not just teaching techniques, but inviting others into that same experience, encouraging them to explore, to experiment, to trust themselves, and to discover their own creative flow. Because ultimately, art is not about following rules, but about finding freedom. And in that freedom lies the infinite possibility of expression, connection, and transformation.